Hello and welcome to today's Digital Lounge. I'm Mark, and in this bite-sized episode, we're diving into the future of the digital customer experience and the strategy surrounding that, and why low-code technology is right at the center of it. According to a March 2025 Mendix survey, 98% of enterprises are already using low-code tech. 80% have reported already an improved step up in productivity. 79% have reported cost reductions, 73% faster time to market. So in short, low code is established and is proven. But with so many organizations already using it, the big question is, where can low code tech have a big impact next? And that's exactly what we're going to be digging into today with Crimson CTO Ollie Sinclair. Welcome on board, Ollie. Great to see you again.
Thank you.
Ollie,
you
recently authored an article on the future of customer experience and low-code solutions. So we thought you'd be the ideal person to bring onto this bite-sized episode of the Digital Lounge. So thank you first of all for putting the blog together. I know a number of customers have really enjoyed reading that. In the blog, you did talk about those 7 stages of the customer journey, and I suppose the first question is, where do you think low-code technology can add the most immediate value within those stages? Where might the biggest game changer be in that in the long run?
Yeah, sure. No problem. Good question, Mark. And again, yeah, just to reiterate, happy to be here. So, really good. So, obviously, we've got those stages of the customer journey, and I think the 3 that stand out for me that offers that low code offers immediate value. I mean, don't get me wrong, the low code will probably offer immediate value in all of those areas, but I'm going to focus on 3. There's the awareness, consideration, and the purchase stages of that customer journey, which is really where we've seen immediate value. If you think about the awareness side of things, it's that rapid deployment of targeted campaigns. So because of the low-code tools that you have access to, marketing teams can respond very, very quickly to market shifts, changes in messaging, changes in understanding, and kind of keeping up with the viral elements of marketing. With low code, because of the speed and agility of being able to configure and test and launch these elements or these capabilities within your suites, then really rapid deployment of those targeted marketing campaigns is fantastic. And really then when you get into more of the considerations stage of that sort of customer journey, where you've reached out to the right people, personalized landing pages and generative sort of forms that can be built and iterated on without having to go back to a developer to say, oh, can you move this here? Can you move that there? You have the ability to low code or configure landing pages or forms to be really appropriate to what the type of messaging or the type of sort of what you want your customers to consider. Now that's brilliant because you don't have to go through this long-winded sort of definition of exactly what you want to be able to build. You can be quite resilient to the market changes, resilient to what type of message you want and the information you're looking to capture. So personalized landing pages and being able to personalize those forms that customers would be able to use in the consideration phase, fantastic. Then in terms of the purchasing, you've got what is really, really fantastic for low code, no code, is usually a very powerful automated workflow engine. Within Dynamics 365 and the Power Platform, this is Power Automate, which people know and love. This is allowing you to streamline the onboarding and purchasing process, reducing that friction of navigating away to different forms of communication or different channels, but also being able to automate as much of that process as possible. You can automate and integrate with these workflow engines, and that really then increases the efficacy of that journey. So those are the 3 stages that typically we see provide immense value to customers very quickly.
Okay, and I think in the article you did touch on the AI, of course, AI everywhere still. We keep talking about it, and also predictive analytics. Could you just share for listeners practical examples of how a business could anticipate a customer's needs before the customer even voices it?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is really interesting, and I'll take an example from one of our for one of our sort of housing, our home builders industry, where there are issues with sort of purchases of housing. There's snagging lists where you buy houses and you get snagging lists, or you get inquiries coming in. Now, what's interesting is some of those channels are effectively offline. They're not immediate to an engineer or to a contact center agent within a platform. They may be emails coming in. Now, what's wonderful about generative AI is it's really good for generating stuff, content summarization, and classification. There's your standard use cases for generative AI at the moment. And two of those, the summarization and categorization, means you can actually get and glean a lot of information from a lot of inquiries to actually work out, for example, certain areas, certain developments, certain situations that are arising with a number of people. You can actually then understand that information coming through and proactively then launch campaigns to explain what certain situations are or certain issues are. So if somebody has a big issue with power outage or something like that within their area, it's going to spike using AI to be able to summarize and categorize those inquiries coming in. It's going to spike an interest in power or electrical or whatever category that comes out. You can then proactively sit there and send a mail shot to these selected people in that area to say, we're aware of this situation, we're actively looking to resolve it before those inquiries come in. So you can start to see, even on those, I guess, unattended inquiry management channels, you can have the capacity using generative AI to be proactive and send out those communications and those messaging, which is really, really useful. It's interesting to see the behavior of the customers when you're informing them of a situation they don't even know of yet. It's really quite a positive result.
Fantastic. And I suppose a big question that we often get is about app sprawl. We've talked about in the past citizen developers and the low code giving users a lot of power, really. But there's a challenge there, isn't there? Because we want to keep this customer journey seamless. So how do we balance those two? Not just for the customer as well, but also for our colleagues that are working to serve that customer.
Yeah, it's a challenge. And what's what I'll add on to sort of that question is that what you don't want to do is you don't want to stifle the innovation by being very rigid with what people can sort of enhance and collaborate and configure, right? So what you don't want to do is be so locked down that there's no app sprawl, brilliant, but there's also no innovation, there's no change, there's no working with the business and changing based on the sort of the market situation. So it's a double-edged sword, but we really see that if you can engage with a mindset, and it's four real considerations. Unified platforms is the most important part. Power Platform is really good. It allows you to consolidate applications, consolidate workflow, consolidate data, and a unified platform at your base allows you to then grow and expand in the right way. Yes, there's governance, so you need to have a governance framework, but the framework has to be appropriate. And funnily enough, Mark, what you were saying there in terms of citizen developers being able to test simple productivity, you want to really engage and enhance that innovation, but on a safe way. And it's a sliding scale of governance depending upon the maturity, the scope, the criticality of what they're trying to develop or what they're trying to build. And you really have to have that sliding scale of governance that allows you to control it in a good way. Then really, you've got some fundamentals around, if you're looking at customer journeys, you've got to have the customer journey mapping. So everybody has an understanding of what that customer journey is, so you can start to identify overlaps or gaps in the digital footprint, so that you're not sort of creating an app that goes over an app that goes over an app, and all of a sudden you've sprawled out of your control. And then the final element is, if you are building applications, sometimes it's good to have a unified platform, but there are products that are best of breed that you want to integrate. You want to enhance your offering with, yes, a unified platform, but some specialist applications that go on top. So the integration first mindset, where apps are designed to work together to share data across the ecosystem, is again one of those approaches that you try to offer. So those are the key 4 elements you want to be doing: unified platform, sliding scale of governance, customer journey mapping, and integration first mindset would be my approach.
Okay, that's good to hear. I mean, we know Power Platform's a really established player, one of the leading low-code platforms in the market. And we've also talked previously about how it's an ongoing process now of updates from Microsoft. They're coming all the time. Have you seen anything new on Power Platform feature-wise that's you think actually that could really enhance the customer experience on top of what they've already got already?
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a really funny one. So that you're right. There's so much going on, and you're really lucky if you're working within the Power Platform because of the close relationship Microsoft have with OpenAI. So a good example is GPT-5, the newest large language model from OpenAI was released, and I think overnight it was readily available in Copilot Studio. And that leads me on to probably one of my favorite toolkits at the moment, which is Copilot Studio. This really allows you to get right up and close with a large language model in a governed way to be able to start looking at creating agents. So this, where we have the traditional chatbots, it used to be called sort of virtual agent back in the day before generative AI. They've relabeled that and packaged it as Copilot Studio. It's a fantastic low-code tool to really get under the hood of being able to create very defined business agents that allow you to enhance the way in which your users would use the system, and even Microsoft uses elements of Copilot to actually build the solutions themselves. So I would jump on using parts of Copilot to actually build the solution and the applications, and a part of that solution application is an embedded sort of Copilot through Copilot Studio. It allows you to have lots of autonomy in terms of how you can define and build up and prompt your Copilot. It can marshal the data that it's getting, or in terms of RAG, so retrieval augmented generation. You can marshal that where it needs to look for its knowledge base, so that the responses to the answers that come out of this Copilot are very much marshaled into the things that you want, so the hallucination is quite low. But Copilot Studio, so easy to get your hands on, really quick to start delivering value, and it's integrated into the Power Platform perfectly. It can integrate into SharePoint seamlessly, and some of your other business applications as well. We see a lot of uptake. People have M365 Copilot, which is the kind of like the productivity Copilot, and then can create custom agents to add on to M365 Copilot within Teams, for example. So really good in that space, and we start to see this merge of Power Platform and then your traditional workforce all combining together in this agentic world. So it's quite nice to see.
Wonderful. Well, it would be remiss of me if I didn't mention that we've got our innovation conference on the 13th of November. Ollie, I know you're going to be. You've kindly agreed to get involved with that, and we'll be talking then about how to build the digital workforce with of course AI. It just keeps getting better and better. Ollie, thank you so much for your time today. Really appreciate it as always. If you haven't read Ollie's article yet, it's if you go to blog.crimson.co.uk, look out for the future of digital customer experience strategy is with low-code technology. That's the article. You'll find it on there. You'll be able to get all the details there. If you need any help with any of that, we've got lots of different workshops to get you started with Copilot, with Power Platform. Just get in touch, and we'd love to hear from you. So until next time, Ollie, thank you very much, and we'll see you all again soon on the Digital Lounge.